baby entered into a dynamic that she really didn't get a chance to confront. Relationships with her brother had to rebuild.
Just dealing with my parents' divorce and the aftermath and the fallout from that, and just a plethora of just other little things that almost put me in a different role. So you were kind of really used to just it being us, and then me entering into this new dynamic. You were not familiar with this, I guess, new version of me.
I was seeing, from my point of view, I was seeing you turn into, like, I saw a different side of you. I'm like, baby, why you not speaking up for yourself? And I was like, whoa. I'm like so aware of different spiritual energies and things like that. And I'm just like, oh, it was overload for me. And I was seeing you in positions that I've never seen you before.
I think it's...
You turned into
people pleaser
15-year-old Natalie. However you were at 15, she turned into 15-year-old Natalie back at home as a daughter, as a sister, as a niece, things like that. I got you.
And so I think that part of the reason why there was a lot of stress on our relationship is because we were just in a completely different space. I had different capability or different abilities to not only trying to pour into myself, but honestly trying to balance all of these other aspects of my life that I haven't had to balance before. Meanwhile, on your end, you were also trying to, you also still wanted the same version, the same things that I was able to give you before, even in this new area of my life. And so for me, one of the stressors that kind of led up to the breakup was the expectation of me to meet this level of this level, or even be a greater level of self-awareness. I know you wanted me to be more self-aware.
I think that this is important in a lot of relationships. I know we're talking about specifically what was going on for us, but I wanted to highlight an expectation that I didn't even know I had. The expectation for her to remain the same girlfriend I had in our own space when we were living alone. The things that she provided for me, the attentiveness. But when we moved in with her mom, it was, of course, she was balancing different things. She had her job. She had her mom. We both were taking care of her mom. She had all these responsibilities, and I've never experienced this before. So I had to confront my own feelings and expectations. And when I discussed it with her, I realized, wow, like I'm either going to have to scale it back or make adjustments for her, because I know that she's wearing different hats. And so that was number one, where I realized that, wow, this is not a bump in the road, but this is a potential, I don't even want to call it an issue. It was just a nuance in our relationship.
I think that's where the disconnect started, because then you started turning inwards and you started focusing on you and trying to pour into yourself because of all the other little things that were, I guess,
the things that were pulling on you, I didn't have. Like, they were pulling on you. So I'm like, okay, Lauren, if you feel without, feel it yourself. You know, you want, if you can't have her time at this moment, like, what's the word? I know that I can't pull all of your time. Like, I know that in my head, but I had to confront how I really felt. So I started to pour into myself. Like, Lauren, go on a walk by yourself. It's okay that y'all not together 24/7. Go get yourself a morning routine. If she's tired, what's the word? It's slipping my mind, but be able to I needed to be
forgiving.
Okay, forgiving. And more flexible. That's the word. Be flexible with, she may not have the energy she had. She just had to cook. She just had to prepare, do all these errands. It's okay that she sleep, that she wants to, boom, I have to be self-sufficient. Thank you, Yaya. Yeah. So that was my point of view. I had to go inward and think about how I'm perceiving things. And so I just knew that was number one, pulling on our relationship for me, my half.
I think for me, I think that what you're very good at is, how can I articulate this?
Communicating?
Yes, you communicate well, but then if there's something that you want, like, you
make it known.
Yes, you make it very known. And so, like, if it was, I want you to take care of yourself, baby. Like, you telling me you want me to take care of myself, and I feel like I'm doing the best that I can, or, you know, I didn't communicate the best way that I could. Well, you should have done it, like, you could do it this way next time. And so for me, I was in a space of, like, not feeling I'm enough in any area of my life. I didn't feel like I was enough in my life helping as a caregiver to my mother at that time. I didn't feel like I was enough in my job, which was demanding so much of me. I didn't feel like I was enough in my relationship. And so I was literally going through stress in all these different areas, trying to hold everything up and leaving myself in the back burner, trying to make everybody else good. And I got to a point, and I always, like, I keep saying this, I had a panic attack before a meeting at work. And it was a virtual meeting, not a virtual, but, you know, a remote meeting that I was leading. And it was just the fear of just
not being enough.
Yeah, just not being enough. And it literally got to the point where I was taking my blood pressure morning,
Twice
afternoon,
yep.
during work, just to see what my blood pressure is looking like. And it was consistently high. All of that stress was weighing on me to the point where I was like, I cannot do this. Something has to give. And at this point, this was like June of 2021. This was June of 2021, and I was just like, something has to give. And there's areas of my life that I'm not willing. 22. Okay, this was not. I was not willing to leave my mom. I was not willing to leave this relationship. So I was like, something has to give. It was my job. I quit my job.
I see some comments that were hitting on some good points. So one person said, do you guys feel like one person was more self-sufficient and the other felt depleted, therefore trying to support one another individually in different ways? Okay, I want to speak on that. I think that because we were confronting things that were very new for us in our relationship. She's never been a caregiver. I've never been a caregiver. I was realizing I had expectations that I didn't know I had. It's just that we were approaching these things, these very new things, and we were very raw with each other of how we were dealing with it. So maybe we didn't discuss things correctly. It's just we were being flexible with each other on how we were discussing our needs and what we saw from each other. And we were building on, at first, we sucked at communication. Like, I'm very, like, again, that masculine energy. I'm like very logical, baby. This is. We need to get better at this. And I'm very straightforward, but I'm very warm with what I have to say. You're very in tune with your emotional self. So what I said maybe came off as how you were hearing me was, hey, baby, you're not doing this. I need you to do this. That fed into your I'm not good enough.
It felt like there was a finish line that was always moving, you know, and I felt like I could never catch up, and it was exhausting to try to meet that expectation, and knowing that in my mind, I'm failing at every step that I make, even though I feel like I'm trying my best.
Yeah. One person said, feeling like you were not good enough started from the root of something. I think that you found the root of what it was that made you feel like you're not good enough. It wasn't just the things in our relationship highlighted it, but it made you go within and saying, like, where is this coming from? It's not just this relationship. Maybe you can touch on that.
I think that my life has been surrounded by, but my life has been what's the word? I don't know. Basically, I've been a people pleaser all of my life. And I think that at the root of people pleasing is making others happy. And if you're not able to do that, that is where those feelings of, like, I already have a high expectation of myself. So to know that I'm not being able to meet that or meet that for somebody else, that is where those feelings of just not being enough. And so there was a lot of reflection that I had to do during this period of time even before we broke up. I had to go back to, why is it that I feel like I need to make other people happy? Why is it that I don't feel like, like, even if I'm doing all these things for people, why do I not feel like that is good enough, right? Like, in the case of my mom and her cancer, like, I can't save her. There's literally nothing I can do. So the most I can do is at least cook for her every other day, make sure the house is clean. But at the end of the day, I cannot save my mother.
And I think that your attempts to save her was to make sure she had a meal, make sure it was clean, make sure you were trying to meet all these check marks. And if you didn't meet a check mark, then that was on you, saying like, man, I'm not good enough. That always made you feel like I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
If you can't reach that bar.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna push the story.
I know.
So, if you're just tuning in, yes, we're talking about how our breakup. Boom! I didn't even put this in here. Our breakup saved our relationship.
So, I guess we can move forward to the actual break.
I'm gonna talk about my brother. Hello from Turkey. What's up?
Hi. I love it. So,
I see all the people who was resonating with things that we were saying. I'm so glad we're not alone. And I think that's important. That's why we have this platform, because we've never seen a relationship like this before. It's not just because we're queer. It's because we're two people who come from, everybody who's in a relationship come from 2 or 3 or more different parts of life. You have a certain way you do things. You have different experiences. But when you come together, there's going to have to be some mending, or not even mending. There's going to be some flexibility that needs to happen. You're going to have to be self-aware about yourself to make room for your partner. It's not, I'm me, I'm going to be me, you better get with it, or this not going to work. No, I have to continue. She's a mirror. Like, literally, she holds up a mirror to me. And whatever if
I tell you about yourself?
Yes. And sometimes I don't want to hear that, or I don't want to see that. But if I'm upset about something, all she's doing is she is sparking something within me that maybe I haven't healed, or maybe I haven't dealt with, or I didn't even want to look at in the first place. So my brother, when I told him, like, hey, mama, like, I'm about to come back home for a bit. I'm coming to Houston, and I'm going to pack up, and I need help. Like, I called my brother, and he was like, boom, I'm there. My brother thought that when I said breakup, he was like, all right, we about to go get your stuff. We about to head out. And I picked him up from the airport, and we were together. We were still lovey-dovey. We were already...
But how did we get to there? Because we weren't lovey-dovey right before.
I was about to hit into that, yeah. The night of the breakup, we laying in bed, and I felt it. It was something in my chest. And I don't know how I said it. It wasn't like, oh, we need to break up. I asked her, baby, how you feel? What's on your your heart? How do you feel right now?
We didn't even say anything that night. I just started crying.
And
the night of the breakup.
We started talking, and we got to the point where we need to live apart. We need to be apart so that we can continue to grow individually, and we can work on ourselves. And when you're working on yourself, you're working on this relationship. So that night, it was a lot of crying. It was a lot of coming to face with how we expected our relationship to go was not going to be that. How you expect something to happen, and when it doesn't happen, sometimes you can't even come to terms with that. And so that was the biggest let go that we had to.
I think I was in shock that night.
Yeah. Something told me in my spirit that night, through crying and everything, literally, I feel like my higher self, God, the universe was like, if you let go, I will take care of you. It's okay. I literally heard that. If you let go, I will take care of it. And I felt it. I'm still sad. I'm crying, but I knew that I had to let go for this to prosper. And sure enough, it did that. I think the next day, we were kind of like tiptoeing around each other and
we went to close our bank account. Like we closed our bank account that we had together. We
that came later. That came days later.
I mean,
I don't even think, because we was like, oh, what we gonna do about social media? I was like, I hate that we thinking that we're thinking that way, because I don't care about social media. I don't want to go and deal with how we look publicly. We need to deal with us. And of course, but being human, you think about all those things. Oh, what people gonna say? What we gonna do about all the joint things we're doing together? I was like, no, baby, we're gonna be okay. I felt that if you let go, we're gonna be okay. And we didn't even. I was like, let's push that to the side. Let's deal with us.
I'm gonna step in because I did not feel that way.
Oh yeah, she didn't feel.
I did not feel that everything was gonna be.
I
okay.
told you, masculine energy. I was
very emotional. The whole week I was sad because so the breakup happened on a Tuesday, and the next day you were like, I had a list of stuff, and I was like, I think that this is what's gonna help us, make this breakup be efficient. I think you need to go as soon as possible.
Called my people, made some arrangements. Wednesday and Thursday, just to speed this up, Wednesday and Thursday, we started to transition into
gratitude.
Yes, gratitude. Can't even explain it, but we started to cuddle again. There was this overwhelming feeling of like, there was still love there. There was still respect there. There was still health there, and we still wanted the same thing, and I committed to each other that this was gonna be okay.
I think that is where a lot of issues that happen in relationship stem from. You forget gratitude. And I think that we got caught up on a lot of the little things that happen in our relationship, to where we forgot to just sit back and be like, you know what? I'm thankful for this being that in her existence in my life. I'm thankful for all of the things that I have learned from her. Like, thank you for being you. Like, we were doing a whole bunch of reflecting.
We start telling each other how it was. Listen, I have a problem with this. You start telling me. We stopped holding back the things that we really wanted to say. We're very transparent, and we communicate a lot. But the bottom line things that we were holding on to that we really didn't want to tell each other, or we were kind of sugarcoated, we let up the veil and we just told each other. We took a walk in the neighborhood, remember? And we were just talking back and forth, and we came to terms with, wow, like there was this weight that came off, and I felt it was mutual, but it made it okay that we were about to transition into something that was unknown.
I think when we started, like the day before the break, like the day before she left, because she was actually gonna drive back to Texas. The day before she left, we sat and we talked, and we eventually got to a place where we're like, I don't even want to break up at this point. Like, I felt like,
you smiled.
Yeah, but the thing is that we had to get to the break. We had to get to the point of the bottom of the bottom, the place that we did not want to go, and cross over that hump in order to allow this veil that we had over us be taken off, and we can be completely transparent about like what it was that we actually needed, how this thing really did bother us. Like, and from that moment, that is when I remember that night you got in the car, and
talking about with my brother.
No.
Oh, it was before that.
Maybe it was on your way to your brother or something, or something like that. But I have anxiety in the car. Okay, I am a passenger seat driver, so I'm the person that's like, do this, do that, turn here, you know, I do all that stuff,
and I'm perceiving it. I'm like, do you not trust me? I know. And I'm already kind of like, hello.
Yes.
But instead, are you about to go into what I said to make you feel
right? You instead of projecting like all of this, how she's feeling about me saying this, you ended up doing, I'll let you say.
Yeah, I said, baby, yes, my hands are gonna go 10 and 2. I'm gonna use my signal. Just for an example, I was trying to make her feel comfortable. I had to stop perceiving it as, oh, she's trying to be a passenger driver. Let me go ahead and say, all right, baby, I know that I'm saying all the things I need to say in order to make her feel comfortable. And I felt her lighten up and say, thank you, baby, for saying that. That makes me feel comfortable. Instead of me going back and forth and saying, you know, why are you saying that?
What that communicated to me is that you see me, you understand me, you hear me, and you're actively wanting to make sure that I feel protected in that space, rather than like I'm crazy for asking you to modify what you're doing. Yeah. You are confirming like, hey, I know that this bothers you. I'm here for you, and I'm going to not, I don't even say coddle. Coddle's the word that came up, but basically like nurture this protective thing.
Make room for you.
Exactly.
I made room for you. I'm gonna get back into the story with my brother, but an underlying theme that we wanted to hit on for telling that full story is sometimes your relationships have to hit a head. Like literally, it has to go wrong in order for it to go right. Sometimes. This is our experience. It doesn't have to happen for everybody, but you have to be confronted with all the back and forth. You have to learn from it. Sometimes it goes downhill before it goes up. You just have to know, why are we in this? Why are we fighting for this? You're still my person. You still make me feel safe. You still make me feel connected to my inner child. You make me feel seen. Just because there's been consecutive days where you didn't make space, like you didn't reach out and touch me, or those don't overshadow the whole relationship. And I think that on the last few days before I actually departed from Florida, we had a lot of space for gratitude, and we came to terms with, this is what I want. So when my brother got the call and he said, yeah, I'm gonna fly to Florida and I'll help you drive back to Texas, he arrived at the airport and he saw how we were interacting with each other. We're like laughing, we're being touchy-feely. We go to dinner, and he was like, he told me later, he said, have I been traumatized? Because this is not a breakup. He said, I was expecting to come and get your clothes, and we was going to drive back. He texted me, he said, hey, do I need to get a hotel? I said, no, you can come and stay with Miss Julie. Like, come stay at her house. We have a guest room. And he was like, okay. He said, I just didn't know that a breakup can be so healthy. He said it was kind of bittersweet. We hung out. We went to Cheddar's. What else did we do?
We was out by the fire pit.
Yeah, we went to the backyard and we were on the fire, just having a deep conversation, just me, her, and my youngest brother. And he just said, wow, this was bittersweet that you have to leave here, because it was so much love. The way we embraced each other, the way we talked, and the way we handled each other. I've never been in a breakup like this. By the way, we only broke up for like, what, a month? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we broke up for like a month. I was away. I was in Houston. She was in Florida. But later on, so when we're finally apart, we were trying to make these harsh rules on how we were going to create this like guideline of a breakup. At first, we were like, okay, I knew on my side, I liked being apart. There was something about being apart that made me feel, I just really liked it. It's not that I don't enjoy your company. I just knew that what's important for me is I needed alone time. Peace. I needed space. I needed to remember what it felt like to be in a bed by myself. To have quiet time. I'm gonna be real. Sometimes you don't want to have to consider another person. Mm-hmm. Like, I think can y'all put some hearts or something? It's just a lot to always consider another person, and I enjoy it, but I forget what it feels like to just be in my own space.
I think for me in the midst of that, because I was the one that was pushing for like complete, clear break. Like, I'm like, if we gonna do this, we can't talk. I was like, I don't want to have to keep going like we in, we out, we in, we out. We like that's how it felt like to me. And
unstable. Yes,
I like stability. And so for me that was a lot of instability, and I don't like to be in emotional instability at that. Yeah. And so I don't somebody said Lauren is such a Pisces. You're right. You right. She just be like, let's go with the flow. I'm like, and I'm over here a Taurus. I'm like, no, I need to know right now, what is this, what we doing?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think that for me, you were like, oh, we can still talk, we can still do all of this stuff. But it almost sounded like I want to still have you, but not have to think about you. That's what it sounded like.
No.
That's what it sounded like.
Coming from a relationship where you're together 24/7, I think that I had conversations with one of our close friends. I was just like, I need my space. And it's okay to have space. I think that we have the misconception that when you're in a relationship, you have to be together all the time. You have to do everything together. You know, where's your other half? No, we have lives separately. And what helped us in this breakup is now we know how to enjoy our own time together. I mean, separately. Mm-hmm. We know how to let each other do what we gotta do.
That is what was the pro about this breakup, because again, prior to this breakup, we had not been apart like a day, other than maybe 2 weeks for Christmas when we went to see our families. But neither of us, once we returned back to Korea back in 2020, we had not established an individualized routine. Mm-hmm. Like all of our routines were intertwined. If we wanted to go bike riding, we went bike riding together. Mm-hmm. If we wanted to go watch a show, I'd be mad if you watched the show without me. You know, like all of these little things, we did everything together. And so I think
we have a business together. We do social media together. Mm-hmm. Well, can we get a question in?
Yeah.
So I have a couple of questions that people sent. And so what were the factors that led up to the breakup? I think we talked about it was not having space. It was different expectations that came that we didn't know. The pressure. I created indirect pressure and direct pressure on her. She realized that she was a people pleaser and that she didn't know how to. What is it? You was people pleaser. You didn't know how to put yourself first. Okay. You was putting everything before you.
I was like, you looking at me to help you. I'm like, I don't know what to help you with.
So what did we learn in this breakup for ourselves? Like, what did you have a chance to do with me not being in Florida with you?
Sit back and relax.
Yeah. I'm a clean person. So she didn't feel the pressure of like, why these dishes in here? Why
set boundaries. Yo.
You learned how to set boundaries.
I sure did. Listen, after the breakup, after we separated, like my primary focus was I'm not doing anything that is outside of my capacity. Mm-hmm. So I don't say no. I don't say yes when somebody asks me something initially.
Yeah, like I would ask you all the time, do you really want to do that?
Yeah. And me, I'm such a people pleaser that I'm like, yes, of course. Like, I will help you. Like, that's me. But not knowing, like, you know what? I don't want to do this. You know, I don't have the capacity to do this. Like, I said yes then, but do I really want to do it now? Mm-hmm. And so I don't ever say yes the first go around. I always say I will consider it and I will let you know if it's in my capacity. And so once I started moving like that, and I started being able to sit in whether or not I wanted to do it, that's how I was able to really practice my boundaries, because that's the hardest thing for a people pleaser, to tell somebody no. Mm-hmm. Okay? But being able to finally get to a point where literally I'm like, I'm choosing me today. Period, point blank. Like, that has been the most freeing and the most like I don't know. I know what you mean. You know, like I could put my foot down, like no, and be proud about it. You know.
Yeah, you were learning some new tools.
Learn how to say no without explaining your no. Yes, that's exactly what I had to do. Because I would be like, I can't do this because
and you was feeling bad.
And I would be feeling bad and making and shame and guilt and stuff like that. And no, I really had to stop doing that. That, by the way, saying no is self-care. If anybody has never told you this, take it this way. Saying no is a form of self-care, okay?
Yep. For me, what I learned, I came to terms with how judgmental I was with myself, which let me know how judgmental I was with people. Does that make sense? So I learned after coming back home, so my parents went through a very tough time and they're rebuilding their relationship. But I'm very judgmental. Like, why is this happening? Like,
why didn't you do that?
Yeah.
Why didn't you do this?
So I have a very close relationship with my mom, and I'm rebuilding a relationship with my dad. And I had to come to terms with, why am I being so judgmental? And I realized it was because of me. So she came up with a good activity. She said, I really think you need to write a letter to your inner child. Mm-hmm. And I was like, my inner child? I don't want to talk to her. I don't even know what she looked like. Had it not be the photo book album that I have of myself, I really don't know what I look like as a child. But I found a picture. I really got in tune with that little girl, and I had myself a cry session, and I realized that she was wanting me to forgive her. I kept saying, oh, there's childhood trauma there. And I realized, man, I viewed myself as weak. So I'm in the real world, I'm going to be strong. I viewed myself as naive. So I'm not going to let anybody get over on me. So all these different things, I didn't realize that I was judging myself, which made me judge others. Right. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that hit, because it definitely hit for me. And I don't know, you haven't even told me, but I feel like transformation happened for me in the past 2 months that I don't think that would have happened had I still stayed in Orlando. Mm-hmm. I journaled to myself. I recorded a really deep conversation with my inner child, and she basically told me, every time you judge people, it felt like you was judging me. I need for you to forgive yourself for not being who you thought you needed to be as a child, and I realized, I came to terms with what I go through life, whatever y'all go through your lives, that is a story to help other people get through what they're going through. And that was transformational for me, to forgive myself, to fully see myself, to be in tune with myself, to accept everything about myself, accept it, and just that in return, I treated you much softer. Yeah. I made space for you. I looked at things differently. I changed my perception. Again, I would not have done this had I been with her, because I'm too busy looking at her actions and judging.
Yes.
Y'all, I had a completely different outlook. That was one thing I learned while being apart from her.
And I would say, in addition, for me, what I learned about being separated from her is it kind of goes along with the boundaries. But I also was able to be in a space of knowing what it is that I like and what it is that I don't like. Mm-hmm. And so that when we're in this space together, I'll be like, yo, I have some peace and quiet. Are we not doing that today?
And I love that. I'm a person just like, tell me. And we would come to issues where she didn't know. I'd be like, baby, how do you feel about this? And sometimes she'd be like, I just don't know. Baby, what do you want to do? What am I doing? Tell me. Give me bottom line so I can stop doing it. I love feedback. I love trying something new. You just got to let me know. Sometimes she didn't have the response to tell me what she liked and didn't like. So I love that now you're able to tell me what you like and what you don't like, because I can cater to that, which is I got to figure out what is inside of my boundaries, but I can cater to that. I can make space for you while also making space for me. Yeah. Woo, let me read some of these. You will lose people when you say no. Most people are in your life for your yes.
Yes.
And losing people for your no is the best thing. You put up a wall and you let people... saying no is also showing people how you love yourself. Which is the same thing as self-care. When you say no to people, you're letting them know, hey, this is how I love myself. And I'm going to say no because I ain't with that right now. Yeah. If they can't respect that, I'm happy to see you go.
Yeah. So what have we been doing in the meantime?
Ooh, I've been enjoying you, girl. I haven't been more attracted to you. Oh my God. I've been seeing this girl dance, getting back into dance. I don't know if y'all checked out her page. She did a Beyonce, like her Coachella, Everybody Mad. Oh my gosh. It did some type of virility. Then she did the Super Bowl Rihanna, just seeing her in her element, seeing you dance. I saw you bike ride more often. Mm-hmm. I asked you what was the highlight of your day, which is why I started off this live asking you guys that, because I want to know how you enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
It's been the most attractive thing to see you be in your element.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess for me, in the meantime, I have been doing a lot of dancing, getting back into the stuff that I love, you know, being my creative self. I have, you know, in the past few months, I've published like 5 books on Amazon. I have 3 more books coming out, 3 journals actually coming out. So that's awesome. Just make sure you go support if you can. Yeah. And what else have I been into?
You've been creative.
Yeah.
We've been getting into some AI tools.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence.
Chat GPT. Hello.
Yes. If y'all not into the Chat GPT, get into it. Yeah. We've been really dealing, messing around with Notion. It's been helping us with our creative content. Mm-hmm. For me personally, I got into therapy. Me getting in touch with my inner child coupled with therapy has been the best thing for me. Let's see, what have you seen me do? I rebranded my page.
Yeah, you're right. Voluntary discomfort.
Voluntary discomfort. I've been more, I talk her ear off all the time, and I got some wisdom in here, okay? Mm-hmm. But she's been really encouraging me to not just keep our conversations between us or at home, but to really share it with people.
She can preach, y'all. Like every time she'll be talking to me, I'm like, yes, you need to record this.
So I've been putting out some content, voluntary discomfort. Just the way you can really get in touch with yourself is by putting yourself through some voluntary discomfort. That has been the highlight of my life, is make myself uncomfortable so that I can become more self-aware. I can grow. I can see new perspectives. It has been the best thing for me. I'm growing with my relationship with my parents. I'm not judging their relationship. I realize that my parents are actually learning from me. There's been some role reversal.
Yeah.
My parents are learning from me. I'm the parent now. Not in a here's my responsibility thing, but I'm teaching them how to you taught me how to listen to my body, what I eat, how it makes my body feel. Now they are learning how to eat right. We're exercising more. I'm doing yoga every single day. I'm doing Pilates, like things like that. I got to get in touch with myself, and it's been helping our relationship.
We've been able to set examples, the way that we move and the way that we're living our lives, in order to be the healthiest version of ourselves, the most enlightened version of ourselves, the just all in all the best version of ourselves, the happiest version, the most peaceful version of ourselves. The way that we are moving through our life, it is infectious. The people that are closest to us, whether it's our immediate family, they see that. And whether or not, like we don't have to tell people that they should be doing this. We don't have to be, directing them in their lives. It's more so if they see this example, like they can just learn just through acquisition in a way.
Allow space for people to live the life that they prefer. I'm not saying everybody needs to be, let's say, vegan, or everybody needs to work out, or I don't like setting parameters for other people. Love, true love, which is what I think we display to each other, is making space for the person that they are right now. If you're living the life that you prefer, make space for that. Like, be okay with that. If I'm gonna use my dad for an example, like literally, if you want to eat chips and soda and you want to complain about whatever, or you want to judge this person, I don't know if that's a good example, but that's okay. Like, I can let you show up fully and me be okay. I don't have to say, why are you saying that? Why can't you just speak positive? Because now how's that going to make people feel? Sometimes people are not open to feedback. So I make space for people. Yeah. You said that it's infectious, and the response from our family. My mom said, girl, I don't even see the back of your, she said, I've never seen you smile so much. I'm seeing all of your teeth. And I was like, Mama, I just feel I have more gratitude than judgment. I have more gratitude than anger and unforgiveness.
Yeah, I think I'm going to just piggyback off of what you were saying. when you allow people to show up in this world the way that they are without you trying to tell them what to do, essentially, when you release yourself from being the person that's directing the other person from their experience, you release a weight from you. People have to go through their own personal journeys in order to learn what they need to learn. And whether or not they actually choose the path in order to get to their highest version of themselves, that's them. There's no weight on you that you should carry to because of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to get that shirt?
I have a question.
Yeah.
How was our reunion?
Oh, you mean
like when we spent 2 months apart and we were anticipating coming back together? What was it like for you to see me at the airport? We met up in Mexico.
So first of all, I saw this in the
She
immigration
saw my butt.
line because our flights came in like 20 minutes apart, and so she was already in immigration when I came down the escalator, and then I saw this bun up here, and I was just so happy.
Like, what's up? Our reunion was bomb. It was like nothing. We didn't even miss a beat. It felt like, I don't know how it felt. It was like, there go my best friend. There go my baby. She said she wanted to jump on me in line, but she knew we would both fall.
I can't. There's some parameters. I can't jump on her.
She can, but not in immigration line. But it was so beautiful. I was excited. I was anticipating it. Reunion was bomb, right? It was amazing. I feel like I have my best friend. That's it. Let me see. What advice would you give to others who may be considering a similar decision? I saw a comment that said, I was thinking about this breakup or thinking about doing what we did. And she said, but I haven't talked to my partner about it. And I'm like, you definitely want to make this a mutual decision. I don't think that you can break up and you can, but I don't think it's going to work out this way. And so I would say the advice I would give to someone who is thinking about this decision is I'm gonna let you go first.
I'm gonna say focus on yourself. Like, focus on you. When you get into this space, like, honestly, for me, if I thought about us, like, I would get into like a sad, dark spiral. But I literally had to shift and be like, you know what? I'm moving in my life, no matter what, to the best version of myself, to the place that I want to go. Like, for example, I started dancing. I love to dance, right? I started dancing on my own. I decided to film it, and I loved it so much. I was like, you know what? Why not share it? Mm-hmm. Why not share it with the world? Shit, I love Beyonce. Hopefully Beyonce sees it. Like, you know, like this is how I'm moving without limitations, without confines of hoping or just hanging on to a relationship. I'm focusing on myself. I'm focusing on how I'm eating and how I'm thinking. I'm really trying to shift my, I'm saying that I was a people pleaser. I still am a people pleaser, but I'm shifting the way that I am approaching different situations. I'm shifting the way that I see myself, internally and externally. And so as long as I'm moving in that direction, ultimately everything's gonna work out for me.
Yeah, you're supposed to be on a road. Like, if you're working on yourselves individually, you're supposed to grow in a way parallel. Like, it's not just linear. You're gonna go ups and downs, but don't focus so much as on like, does she or does my partner like what I'm doing? Am I doing everything my partner want me to do? It's not going to be like that. Focus on yourself. Focus on, am I creating boundaries? Am I setting boundaries for myself? I'm going to leave it at that. I wanted to also point out that our business grew so much with us taking this time apart and working on each other, working on ourselves individually. We was able to put out these sweatshirts. hoodies. Y'all, it's sweatshirt season every season for me all year long. And so if y'all... Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that the message of this shirt is deeper than just what you see. So as you can see, it says, I am the person my younger self needed. And moving through not just this breakup, but even prior to this, in terms of us trying to reconnect with our inner child, us trying to, transform the way that we think and the way that we move through this world, this life, in order for us to be the happiest version of ourselves, the most peaceful version of ourselves, we really had to come to terms with us. And then also for me, the reason why this shirt and this phrase resonates with me is because, girl, the way that I'm showing up in this world, the way that I'm living my life,
little you would be so proud.
Yo, I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, girl,
you the
girl, what? And so that for me is, as long as I feel like that, as long as I feel like this little girl inside of me is looking up, I'm like, girl,
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I want to be you when I grow up. That is exactly how I'm moving in my life, in any decision that I make. And I feel like that is the reason that these words came out of your mouth.
Yeah. I am the person my younger self needed.
Yes. And so
these are embroidered sweatshirts. We have the hoodie version. It is on our website right now. It's
link in bio, you guys. We haven't even started really advertising this for them yet, but you guys are getting the first dibs, okay? If you guys are interested.
It's been up since March 1st, but we really have not been promoting it that much. It's just that we wear it, and it's our baby.
Yeah.
And more is gonna come.
Yes.
Y'all, I just want to say I think at one point it was like 45 people in here, but
yes.
23 is still here. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate your input. I appreciate the support.
Tanya, she said it's amazing quality, so soft and cozy. She has the sweatshirt version of this. Yeah. Or no, the hoodie version of this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Before we head out, I think it's we wanted to get out by 8:30. So if y'all want to hop on and ask us something that we didn't hit on,
Q&A.
Yeah, let's do a Q&A real fast.
Yeah.
Any questions that you specifically want to know? If it's not too much for us,
we'll try.
We'll try to share as much as possible. But
yeah.
We just hope that this platform, y'all can learn from it. Your relationship is going to go through ups and downs, and what you do is going to work for y'all.
There's no right relationship.
Yeah.
There is no perfect relationship.
We're learning as we go.
Yeah.
We can't have a relationship like Tabitha Brown and Chance. We can only have a relationship like Lauren and Natalie. We can only figure out what works for us. Mm-hmm. So yeah, just the Q&A right now. If y'all want to hop on, y'all want to request, ask a question in the comments before we head out.
Mm-hmm.
I hope y'all enjoyed this. We're still on vacation. We're going to be here for the next 10 or so days.
Yes.
So y'all going to stay tuned. Hopefully y'all stay tuned to some of the content we're going to put out.
Yeah.
But y'all, we appreciate y'all so much.
Ooh, I have a question for you.
What's up?
What does unconditional love mean to you?
Unconditional love.
Mm-hmm.
Unconditional love for me. First, I did not think, and I still somehow, some is in there. I don't think that the average person can, what's the word? I'm going blank. I don't think that the average person can achieve unconditional love because of our programming and our systems that are in place right now. If somebody doesn't do what we want them to do, we kind of do it with our kids too. We think we have unconditional love for our kids, but we teach them to do things that we want them to do. But unconditional love is letting a person show up how they show up. Period. Unconditional love for me is, I feel like I had a definition. Do you remember what I said? Or
I thought that I've heard you say that unconditional love is allowing that person to be their full self, and you accepting them in that space.
Yeah.
And so, you said you think that people aren't programmed for unconditional love, but
I would look at the messaging that we get. She got hair on her chin. What's that? Oh, they're gay or whatever. It's without judgment. It's allowing people to make decisions for them, and you let them live the life that they prefer.
I think that unconditional love, the most clear example of unconditional love for me, even though you disagree, is a mother or a parent and child relationship. Because I feel like at the end of the day, that child could do anything. Like, literally, I think of what's his name, the guy that murdered all those people with Niecy Nash, the Niecy Nash.
Oh, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer. Right, he did some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
but his dad stuck beside him.
Yeah,
even though it was atrocious, he still loved him. Even though he was disgusted, he still loved him. Because that was his son.
Yeah.
Like, it's not necessarily, he didn't really accept all of what he did, and it was at the end of the day, like, he's still my child. Like, I still love this person because I see this.
I think about if Jeffrey Dahmer wasn't his son, would he?
No, exactly. That's different.
But still, regardless, I feel like, let me see. I'm going to say it, and then maybe if it doesn't make sense, then I'll retract it. But regardless of who the person is, can I accept, can I make room, can I be okay with who they are? What do y'all think unconditional love is, and are we capable?
The Emmanuel said, I'm kind of a pessimist, but I think that unconditional love is for me and God. I don't think I could give it to anyone else.
That's real. I like that. Mm-hmm. I like that a lot.
I can see that, yeah.
I still need to back out if I need to. Yeah, and it's okay. I think that you have a level of self-awareness where you can come to that conclusion for yourself. I think people are out here thinking that they have unconditional love for people, but it's really conditional. But anyway, I got to use the first.
All right. So, I think that's it. That's it for us. Thank you guys so much for joining. Make sure you go check out our links in our bio. Go ahead and copy one of these
sweatshirts.
Your younger self would thank you. Yes.